If you're depressed, angry, or feeling like you're not yourself, consider this. Your job is waging a war on your soul and is causing you all sorts of additional problems in life. Let me give you an analogy. With me, my job was like a seed that I planted. That seed then grew into a tree with branches. Those branches were just other problems and excuses that was created by the seed that made me unhappy, bored, angry, and unfulfilled in life in the first place. It caused all my other problems to feel amplified. But what is life? Well, for most of us, it's day after day of 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, and 8 hours of personal time. Well, personal time in air quotes, right? Our days are mainly work, and that's kind of my point. What actually happens during those 8 hours of personal time? Well, your job is bleeding into it, and on some occasions into your sleep via dreams. You hate what you do. You hate your boss. Your coworker Karen gets under your skin, and to be frank, you'd love nothing more than to tell them both to go fuck themselves. So over and over, you play out a scenario in your mind of what you would say to them if you won the lottery one day or just stopped giving a shit. Or is that just me? Not to mention that lack of sleep from last night is now catching up with you, and there's always something that needs to be done. The house needs to be cleaned. There's a stack of mail that needs to be gone through. Bills need to be paid. The kids need to be taken care of. Laundry needs to be done. A friend or family member needs help with their problems. The list goes on, doesn't it? We try to grip onto those personal hours and find relief and fail miserably. There's just too much to do. So much to think about and not enough time to do it all. Abracadabra, there goes your 8 hours of personal time. Now during that time, what else is happening within you? Well, with me, I was a grouch 24/7. I was living in my head most of the day, thinking, wishing, praying, and living in the past. I was bitching, complaining, and constantly being negative about everything. I was blaming everyone else for my problems. And all that while being a bad husband, son, brother, uncle, and friend. And to keep it all the way mental, I'm probably missing some things on that list. All I was doing was living in the past, hating my present, and wishing for a better tomorrow. I was also isolating myself and trying to find relief anywhere I could, trying being the key word. And while I was trying to find that relief to numb that never-ending dull pain life gives out freely, I was trying to fill a hole within myself that could never be filled. I was putting off what I knew I should have been doing in order to build a better future and get myself out of my current situation. No wonder I was depressed. I hated my job. I hated the fact that I had dreams I wasn't pursuing. I hated myself. I regretted things in my past that I had pushed down and never addressed. All that and more while trying to complete that never-ending to-do list we all have constantly running through our minds every day. Look, I get it. Life is repetitive. Life is mundane. And most times, it feels like a dull pain that never goes away, while other times it feels absolutely fucking pointless. Let me be honest with you. There are still days I despise life even with a job that I love. But I went from hating life every day to maybe a few times a month, if that. When you have a job you love, it also bleeds into other areas of your life and makes life seem much more manageable. Look, life is short, and I hate to use such a common and generic saying, but it is. In a blink of an eye, you're 40, and you realize you've wasted so much time. And now you're behind, and you have nothing but regrets and feel like you've done nothing with your life. Don't let that be you. You don't want to get to the end of your life and realize you've been unfulfilled, angry, and depressed your entire life and never went after your passions or dreams. You do not want to die with regrets. A wise man once said, "The richest place in the world is the graveyard." Why? Because there are so many ideas, unfulfilled dreams, and wasted potential buried and forgotten. To keep it mental, I'm not content with a life that is 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work and an illusion of 8 hours of personal time. I don't think anyone is. Get out there and chase your dreams and change the things you're unhappy with. You have options whether you see them or not, and the solution is out there just waiting for you to find it. Did you know that the likelihood of you being born is 1 in 400 trillion? To add to that, there's no one like you on the planet. You are one of a kind. That makes you extremely special. And you know, like I know, when we're at our best, we are a force to be reckoned with. You have so much to give to this world and so much life left in you. It's just buried. But guess what? You're not dead yet, so there's still time. A job is something we all have to do in today's society, and it takes up most of our day. So why not like it? You don't have to love it, but at the very least, you should like it. If you don't, it will bleed into other parts of your life and make life that much harder. After high school, I went to college and got my associate's degree and went to work. I was in IT, and I worked for very well-known companies like Facebook, Apple, Intel, and HP. I used to despise my jobs with every fiber in me. But for 13 years, I did the 9 to 5 in an office cubicle, meetings and all that. I hated it. Looking back, it wasn't what I wanted to do for a living. I just wanted to learn more about computers. It should have been a hobby at best. And it never once occurred to me to just switch my job and do something else. I let it suck the life out of me, almost literally. I could never understand why someone would want to commit suicide until the day I tried. I wouldn't wish that desperate, sad state of mind on my worst enemy. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd just look up at the ceiling with tears in my eyes and just wish I would have died in my sleep. I'm not kidding. I'd wish I'd never been created. It was so bad that I would prefer to lay in my bed all day looking at the ceiling than to leave my bed and face my day. I'd think about all the things I needed to do that day, and the anxiety and dread would just flood in. It was like there was a war raging within me. It would take so much mental strength to just get out of bed and turn on the shower. I was absolutely 5,150% miserable. Does any of this sound familiar? So I challenge you to consider what was true for me. You aren't fulfilled. You hate your job, and that is your seed too. Your job is magnifying all your other problems. The tree you created needs to be chopped down and dug up. And until you change it, work will continue to suck the life out of you and bleed into other areas of your life, causing nothing but more unnecessary pain and struggle. I suggest that you start by asking yourself the following questions. What would I love to do? What would I like to do? What would I want to do? What would I like to learn to do? Unfortunately, I do have some bad news for some of you, but I also have some good. Let's start with the bad. Not everyone is going to be able to do what they truly love. That's why I listed out the questions the way that I did. But you can at least have a job that somewhat fulfills you, a job that you like at the very least. And then your job won't bleed into other areas of your life, making even your personal time 10 times more miserable. Here's the good news, and I want you to really remember this. In today's time, you can virtually make anything you love or really want to do a source of income, but it's not free. You'll have to dedicate some of your 8 hours of personal time to achieve this. You'll need to make a plan and put in work every day to make it a reality. But do it, even if you can only spare 15 minutes. Something is better than nothing, and it all adds up at the end of the week. Every minute you spend on your goals, you are that much closer to a more manageable and fulfilling life. But first, find a job you love, if not like, at the very least. And I promise you, when you make that change, you will start noticing a change. Your days will become easier to get through. You won't be looking at the clock every 15 minutes calculating how much time you have left. Your depression will start easing off little by little, day by day. Your other problems won't feel as big. When that happens, don't just stop there. Explore this world. Find new passions. Revive old ones. Learn new things. Set new goals and pursue them. Only by engaging in life, learning, trying new things, and staying curious can you reignite that spark within you. Chop down that tree. Dig up that stump. And plant a new seed, and everything else will surely follow.